Alrighty, I thought I'd get her out of the shed and give her a bit of an idle for 15 minutes and just make sure the water's flowing through the old Clevo. So she got a bit above half, so I'm assuming that would be enough to open up the thermostat and do its job. So yeah, I still can't get power steering in it yet. Don't know what's going on there. It's a fully reconditioned pump, so maybe I've connected something wrong, but you can't really stuff it up. But anyway, it's going to get the brakes done tomorrow, the new brake lines on the diff tomorrow. So he'll I'll get him to have a look at the power steering, because he was the one who rebuilt the pump, so I'm hoping there's nothing wrong with that. So it was like weeks on parts. So anyway, good. So she got lovely idle, sit there and blah 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 blah. Nice, does its job. So job's all I've done. I've packed all the gear ready for it to hit the road tomorrow. So tomorrow is first job is the rear brake lines on the diff. I'm getting them redone, which I've said several times. Tuesday, Wednesday, getting the air conditioning, so all the pipe work and TX and blah blah blah, getting all that redone. So that's what I've been doing today, mounting the condenser and the condenser fan. And then on Thursday, Friday, it's getting the new exhaust. So they're the headers ready to go, and a new exhaust to go with it. So yeah, so it's good. She's a hoot, absolute hoot. So starts and runs just super. So, and I've got the fans working, everything's looking good. All the any sort of resemblance of bits of oil from the work and topping things up, it's all gone now. So yeah, so there's no more smoke coming out of the side of the headers and all that. So yeah, so she's fun and sweet. Starts every time, idles beautifully. It doesn't rev very well, but it hasn't been tuned. So anyway, that's the condenser setup I did. Yes, it's a big fan, but yeah, we are in Darwin, so you've got to have a big fan. So I'm running it a bit lower to about the same bottom as the radiator. I wanted room for the fan, so I had to push everything down a little bit. So the brackets are all good, each side, so plenty of room to put the fittings on. Yeah, so anyway, I'll shut this up. So oil cooler, so the oil cooler's down in there. As in transmission oil cooler. So that sits in behind the condenser there. So that's all mounted up, nice and solid, everything's solid as. So yeah, so the good thing about the condenser, I've got it rigged up so it can act as a second cooling fan as well. So just give me a sec. So you can actually run it as a separate fan. So yeah, so she's drawing through. So I can run it as a separate fan just to keep the car cool, or if I'm in traffic or whatever, I can just click that on and give me a bit of extra cooling instead of the normal fan. Yeah, so she's a good fan. So that's all controlled by these little switches down here. These are the ones I stole, the ones from the wagon. So it's all good. And that's my Bluetooth one.
Bluetooth mode.
There you go, Bluetooth mode. So yeah, so that's cool. So that's good. So that's the Bluetooth on off. So that switches between the radio. So obviously no antenna yet because there's nothing connected, but yeah, so that's all done. I've just got, I forgot to put the labels on here. Yeah, bugger. Anyway, so yeah, so there's the old, yeah, so I've got it opposite. So that's your balance on your left and that's your aerial on up and down on your right. I just the way it was, I don't know why I did it like that, but it's just the bracket for this was better than that. So fine, done. So anyway, she's all good. Clock's all good. I like the old style clock with the much bigger digits. So you might have seen that in the, you've seen the two sorts. Yeah, so that's a much bigger digit clock, way better clock than the new ones, which are like half that, probably a bit less than that. So it's cool. So anyway, center console's all done. She's looking good. Yeah, so everything else is looking good. She's sweet as. She's lovely. All the instruments work. I still haven't got the fuel gauge work yet, but I haven't even looked at that yet. But that's something can be done any time. I'm assuming it's just the standard fault they get with the you know, standard fault. I've read a bit about it, so apparently it's pretty common. Yeah, so other than that, she's ready for paint. So we've got a week of doing that exhaust and all that, and then it's going to go off for a tune after that, and then get the wheel alignment done, assuming that the power steering and everything's all fixed by then. And then at the end of next week, she goes off to paint. So I actually had a meeting with the painter today, so we discussed the terms. So one thing, it is not going to make the all-4 day in Darwin, which it is what it is. I mean, you can only go as fast as people can let you go. Yeah, so yeah, the painter, he sort of expects a lot, but yeah, so he only does one car at a time. So luckily my car I've been talking for a while, and he's got a gap. So he's going to be taking this at the end of next week, so 2 more weeks he's taking it, and then he's got it for 8 weeks. 8 weeks, holy moly. So yeah, 8 weeks to redo it, and he's doing everything. He said, no, doing the insides, painting everything in here, the whole lot. I sort of just wasn't going to worry about that, but he's got his name and his reputation, and there's no if but maybe about it. So, but ironically, the budget, which I did mention way earlier in another video that I did put aside, it's actually pretty damn close to that, and I'm actually really happy with that. I'm over the moon with it. So yeah, and he's going to let me help a few days when there's when the bodywork's getting done, as well as the masking up and all that. So he's let me come out and help for a few days, which is awesome. Anyway, that's where we're at. So I'll put it, once she's cooled down full, I'll come back in an hour or so, top up the water, put it back in the shed and get the panels all ready to rock and roll. And then I'll get her on the tow truck tomorrow to head off to get the brake lines and all that done. So she's leaving the house. First time in 5 months, I think it is. I've been going on this car 5 months. So yeah, which is awesome. No worries. Thanking you. Cheers.